Today, guys, we are talking more about Poa annua. The last video that we just had here from Central North Carolina, we were talking about a herbicide called Velocity PM. You guys sounded off in the comments. We're going to get to that just in a second. I'm Mr. Ferguson. Thank you so much for tuning in today from Central North Carolina. We're happy to have you. If you're not subscribed, I would encourage you, click on the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. It's free to you, so do that if you would. If you enjoy the video, also hit the like button. Helps us to just get out to more people. So Poa annua, we're going to talk about that here in a second, but before we get into it, I want to show you guys that we are continuing to look super awesome here in fall. And there's a reason why I'm showing you this. For those that are new, we're continuing. We've got baby grass growing in this section over here. We are still thin in areas in my lawn, but as you can see from the mow today, I did mow today. I did not capture any of the recording or the footage. I just enjoyed the mow on my own, but there is a purpose why I just at least want to show you the backyard. For the first time this season, I've done a up and down or a left to right mow. That's why you really can. The shadows are messing with us. We're in the later afternoon, somewhere around 2:30, 3 o'clock, but we did a up and down type pattern. And if you've been around watching my channel for the past couple of months, you know that we were looking pretty rough for several weeks. We've also been super dry this season. It's been a challenge. We did our first initial seeding way back in August and way too early. The ground temperatures are way too hot. We did it as an experiment to see if we could get a jump start on getting our lawn going for fall, and it just wasn't time. We really haven't really kicked into full-blown fall mode until recently, with the past 2 weeks or so. So we were way ahead, but I wanted to show you all this because the lawn just naturally through the incoming fall lower temperatures is just looking outstanding. This is cut at 3 inches. We do have germination in these areas. I did lawn soil and baby seed is coming, or excuse me, baby grass is coming up in these areas, as you can see right here. So that is really awesome to see. So all the areas we added topsoil and kind of reseeded that have been thin from throughout. I've done this multiple times, but finally it seems like that they are they're jumping in and they're actually it's finally growing. So it's really awesome. So anyways, there's a reason why I wanted to show you this, because we did talk about last video about Velocity PM, and many of you sounded off and you said, Mr. Ferguson, it is super expensive. $533, that is nuts. And I 100% agree with you guys. If it's not for this YouTube channel, I would not be buying Velocity PM. And others have made similar points on that. When we're talking about the Poa triv, we know that Velocity PM is labeled to kill Poa triv in our lawn. Well, we can also just buy a cheaper product called Roundup or glyphosate and apply that to Poa triv, or as I did, and as many of you do, we can simply pull up Poa triv before it starts spreading too much, because in this section over here, when I did this, it was actually super shallow roots, super easy to pull that out and just reseed. So in the case of Poa triv, I really don't think that I would purchase Velocity PM unless I had a infestation of Poa triv all over. Yes, you could buy that product to apply it, but at that point, if I have that much Poa triv, you might as well just round up your entire yard and start again. Now, when we talk about Poa annua, that could be spotty, that can be in multiple areas. It can be more difficult to hand pull that out. For the Poa annua, I can see Velocity PM being more of a product that would be of value for that. And then if you have a mix of Poa triv and Poa annua mixed all throughout your lawn, I think Velocity PM is a fantastic option. But as I've shown you guys, and I won't make you look at me, but as I've just shown you, up until this point, November 2024, my lawn has never had Velocity PM in it. And if you look at this picture right here, which I had in my Velocity video from Friday, you can see that my backyard right here where I am showing you guys, it was literally 90% Poa annua back here. When True Green showed up 5 years ago and walked my lawn, it was literally a field. In the springtime, I mean, it was 90% Poa annua back here. I thought, man, I've got a big task on my hands. How in the world can I do this? Well, Velocity PM is not what I used to do it. Actually, I didn't use any herbicide. I cut my grass, I bagged my mows. All of that Poa annua seed was in the bag. I ditched all of that out into the woods. And then guess what? When it came fall time, the proper time to seed, which is why I had 90% all throughout the spring, all throughout the summer and into early fall, I continued that, the Poa annua will die off naturally in the heat, but it comes back and it's dropping seeds that lie dormant and we don't know when they're going to come back, right? We don't know when they're going to germinate. But in my case, the point is you do not have to have a $533 herbicide to make your lawn look awesome. I don't have any Poa annua right now. We have not put pre-emergent down since this past March of 2024. So we're looking fine. Now we do have weeds in the yard. We do have areas we need to clean up. But the point being, come 2020, all I did was I planted my grass at the proper time. We did an aeration. We did a dethatching of the lawn. We aerated, and we also put down our seed and our starter fertilizer heavy on the heavier end. And guess what? Just growing the natural grass type of tall fescue, growing it in thick, doing your best to water it, doing your best to mow it, because we know that's why we're continuing to mow here in the fall time, because as we continue to prune that and mow the top of our grass, it's promoting roots underneath the ground, right? And so that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what we're doing right now. And we don't have a Poa annua issue, at least right now. Even when, for some of you up north, when temperatures actually get really, really cold, Poa annua even quits growing. It likes this 60 to 50 to 40 range, and then it likes to germinate, and then those seed heads will pop up. It is super annoying. It's super aggravating. But the point that I thought we would talk about today in this video is you do not have to buy Velocity PM to have a nice lawn. I am proof of that. You guys are proof of that. If we have problems with Poa triv, we can simply walk up to it and pull that out, but it is difficult. And you guys know, for the ones that have done it, like myself, it is difficult to try to find Poa triv and get all of it out by hand. That can be difficult. The more simple solution, we use the green shoots, which is a little glyphosate gel that I like to put on the Poa triv and surrounding areas, let it die, and reseed. You can go that route. What's going to happen if we use Velocity PM on it? It's going to die, and it's going to leave a dead spot. It's going to be basically the same thing. So when it comes to Poa triv, it's cool that, yes, we can blanket spray that. It's going to tackle the Poa annua and the Poa triv. If it was just a Poa triv killer, I don't know so much that I would be as excited. I think the Poa annua part is more exciting about it. But you do not have to buy such a product to have a lawn. You need a thick stand of turf, and that is my main thing. So that's why right now in these same areas back here in my back lawn, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm taking topsoil. I'm taking the time to buy some of this Stay Green and Scott's lawn soil. We're putting that down. We're trying to thicken up our turf, because if we don't, the Lord has allowed the earth to fill in. Something's gonna fill in that spot. So if we put down seed, we want good grass to grow there. If we don't put in seed, something else is gonna fill that void, and it's probably gonna be weeds. Poa annua, Poa triv can pop up. It can squeeze into the gaps, just like Bermuda. When we're talking about a tall fescue lawn in the summertime, it's just in warm temperatures versus colder temperatures. When we don't water or hydrate our grass in the summertime, what happens? Well, we start to thin out. The grass begins to get dehydrated. It starts to shrivel up. It starts to protect itself. It starts to go dormant. And what happens? Bermuda grass starts to slip in. So Bermuda, to me, is a pest grass just as much as Poa triv and Poa annua. They both spread. They both like to find gaps in your tall fescue, and they like to infiltrate. So when we're talking about this Velocity, please understand, I would not buy it either. I'm not pushing for you guys to purchase it, but I thought it would be fun on the channel to try to, I'm going to have Poa annua pop up in these side areas right here. I thought it would be cool to treat some of that, see how it turns, colors, but we do want to operate and use that herbicide in the proper temperatures and by the label. I want to go the proper way about that. We've also put down 2 applications of ethofumicate. I'm due for a 3rd one. I've not done that yet. So I just wanted to talk about that today when we're talking about Poa annua prevention. The best free, cheap thing that most people know, and you may know, is to just put down, continue to fill in your gaps where your lawn is thin, continue to seed, and to the point where you feel like it's just, man, it's just way too cold, the seed is not going to germinate. So the lawn slows down in the wintertime, but it doesn't never completely stop growing. It's constantly growing. So you can buy you a bag while you're out with the wife. You go to the steakhouse, you come by Lowe's or Home Depot, go buy you a bag of topsoil, fill in that area. That's what I've had to do up front. It's made a difference. Whereas over here, where I've had POA triv pop up, I've not done any topsoil. I've just done the garden weasel, put some seed down, and it's germinated. Why some areas prefer the topsoil, I don't know. But anyways, just wanted to talk POA annua with you guys on this Monday one more time. So let me know your comments below. I know many of you had talked about the Velocity PM experience you've had, and I want to thank you so much, because I'm going to be researching more when we get closer to the proper temperatures. I want to be researching, you know, how I'm going to use this, which way I'm going to go. Some people say you need a blanket spray. Some people say I did spot spray. So we're going to have to figure all that out. But thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you're seeing POA annua in your lawn. I'm not seeing any here in central North Carolina. We are dipping down. We had our first frost warning the other night, but so far we're just mowing, we're fertilizing, and we're looking good. God bless you guys. See you next time.